You're listening to The Signal Daily. Hi, I'm Shaurbari, your host for The Signal Daily podcast, and this is our episode for 5th July 2024. So before I begin today's episode, I have an announcement to make. The Signal Daily podcast will be going on a break starting tomorrow. And today, as you tune into the 670th episode of this news podcast, I'd just like to take a minute to thank you, our listeners. Your love and support has made this an incredible and memorable 3-year stint for us. I'm also proud to share with you that The Signal Daily is ranked on Editor's Pick on Apple Podcasts. It's also top 10 in Spotify's news podcast category. From tiny steps, our listenership has risen to 25,000 plus a month with a subscriber base of 646 currently. Our team of writers, producers, and editors may have been a small one, but the effort that has gone into building this podcast is immeasurable. As me and my teammates Anup and Manaswini move on to our next stop, let me express how thoroughly enjoyable it has been for us to bring to you this daily news podcast every morning. But now let's move on to our story for this episode, which is Shein's re-entry into India. Dear shopaholics, I got news for you. Shein is coming back to India, thanks to the Ambanis. Reliance Retail, that is now being overseen by Mukesh Ambani's daughter Isha, had tied up with the IPO-bound fast fashion label last year, and reportedly the brand will relaunch in both its offline and online stores. But patience, it's relaunching in a few weeks, not right away. Now, Shein is the kind of brand that will bring you all the latest fashion, all the must-have items in your wardrobe. Founded in 2008, this online retailer really shot to popularity around the COVID-19 period. It became the world's largest fashion retailer by 2022, with a valuation of $100 billion, accounting for nearly 1/5 of the global fast fashion sales. And it also surpassed two other favorites in that, H&M and Zara. But it's not everybody's fit, because just a couple of episodes back, we had talked about the dark world of the fashion industry, the kind of environmental damage, ethical concerns, the human cost that comes with fast fashion and luxury. And the problems with Shein have been exactly that. Firstly, as a fast fashion brand, it manufactures a ton of clothes to keep up with the changing landscape of fashion. And with that comes a massive amount of textile wastage and overproduction, causing harmful impacts on the local environment. And just to give you some numbers, according to an investigation by Rest of World, Shein added anywhere between 2,000 and 10,000 individual styles to its app each day between July and December 2021, and that produced nearly 6.3 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions a year. And that's the case with most fast fashion labels. Secondly, this Chinese brand's selling point is its affordability, right? Well, on that front, there have been repeated allegations of forced labor, human rights violations, and design theft to achieve affordability. Shein and another Chinese apparel brand, Temu, have been accused of using the minority Uyghur people of China as forced labor. Several independent designers have also accused Shein of blatantly lifting their designs. In fact, earlier this year, Japanese brand Uniqlo had also accused the Chinese brand of copying its popular fanny pack design. All this has triggered a lot of backlash for the company in the US soil, where it had reportedly filed for an IPO last November. It was all very hush-hush, but it couldn't win the trust of US lawmakers due to its Chinese origins, even though it's headquartered in Singapore. Last month, it was also reported that Shein has confidentially filed for an IPO in London now. But anyway, as you know, India had banned the brand in the country 4 years back. It was a part of a larger crackdown on Chinese apps in 2020, citing threat to India's security and sovereignty after an escalation of border conflicts between India and China in the Galwan Valley. That same crackdown saw the banning of TikTok and PUBG as well. But now that Reliance is bringing back Shein, ET reported that it is likely to tap former Meta director Manish Chopra to head its operations in India. The deal is that Shein will not invest equity but will receive a license fee as a share of profits from the company, the report said. Payments to Shein will only come from the profits generated within India. Also, keeping in mind the suspicions with Chinese apps and data security, all data and the app itself will also be hosted and stored within India. So I guess it's a win-win for both companies because Shein is trying to reduce its dependence on China by scaling up sourcing from India, and Reliance can compete with brands like the Tata-owned Zudio, for instance, in the fast fashion space. But the younger demographic cares much more about sustainable decisions than cheap knockoffs. What does that mean for the future of fast fashion? Thank you so much for listening to The Signal Daily, and thank you all for your positive comments and constructive feedback that helped us make this podcast a listener's favorite. This episode was researched, written and produced by me, Shorbari, edited by Venkat Anant, mastered and mixed by Yash Hirve. We are thesignal.co on Instagram, LinkedIn and Twitter. With that, I'll end today's episode. This is your host, Shorbari, signing off.